These and many other documentary, educational, and cultural programs are presented on a regular basis, significant of WCKT's determination to support journalism excellence and high-performance standards. WCKT's award-winning Outlook series is the first and only weekly news film documentary production in South Florida. During the past 3.5 years, the Channel 7 News Department has produced 150 Outlook programs on subjects as diverse as Little League Baseball and the St. Augustine race riots. Another award winner, Florida Forum, has presented important national and international figures on the most critical issues of our times. Also, a regular weekly program, Florida Forum is working on its 165th production. Vice President Hubert Humphrey and others have been featured on Channel 7's Face-to-Face series. My interview with Dr. Martin Luther King was honored as the best television interview of this year by the Scripps Howard Foundation. WCKT's Summation series dramatizes actual court cases with local members of the bar acting as judge and opposing legal counsel. Summation has been honored 3 years in succession by the Florida Bar Association with its top award for promoting better public understanding of the American legal system. Showcase is a series of cultural programs designed to give local amateur and semi-professional performers a chance to be seen and heard. And Proof Positive is a documentary series that explains the activities of the many health, welfare, and character-building agencies in the community and how they serve the public. We've interviewed such world figures as Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev and Deputy Premier Dmitry Polyansky, strongman of that troubled island, Fidel Castro, Francois Duvalier, the tyrannical ruler of primitive Haiti, the late Rafael Trujillo, 30-year ruler of the Dominican Republic, and Juan Bosch, the poet whose regime survived less than a year. Ellsworth Bunker, key U.S. negotiator throughout the Dominican crisis. Hector Garcia Godoy, the interim president who wanted free elections. And Dr. Joaquin Balaguer, the new president of the Dominican Republic. Chetty Jagan, the former Marxist premier of British Guiana, and his arch opponent and current premier, Forbes Burnham. And President Artur Elia of Argentina, who was recently overthrown. Important national personalities include former Presidents Herbert Hoover and Harry Truman, both frequent visitors to South Florida. Vice President Richard Nixon, and his successor, Hubert Humphrey. Sergeant Shriver, founder of the Peace Corps. General Maxwell Taylor, former U.S. ambassador to Vietnam. Dr. Edward Teller, father of the H-bomb. Republican vice presidential candidate William Miller. New York Governor Nelson Rockefeller. And Michigan Governor George Romney. Melvin Belli, the San Francisco lawyer who defended Jack Ruby. And Percy Foreman, who defended Candace Mosler and Melvin Lane Powers. Alabama Klan leader Robert Shelton. And Corps leader James Farmer. Alabama Governor George Wallace. And Julian Bond, the Negro whose election was voided by the Georgia legislature. Right-wing evangelist Billy James Hargis. And the Reverend Martin Luther King. And of course, many, many more. Some final notes on our 10 years after this message. The past half hour tells only a portion of the story of WCKT's 10 years. We cannot squeeze into a half hour all of WCKT's thousands of hours of TV fare, nor can we mention all of the people who make the Channel 7 operation what it is. But I can introduce a man who makes it possible, the president of Sunbeam Television Corporation, Mr. Sidney Anson.
We at WCKT made a commitment to service with responsibility the needs and desires of the South Florida community by communicating the activities of the community through information, news, and entertainment programs. WCKT has mirrored the character of its locale, ever cognizant that as a television medium, this station serves a community larger than the city in which our studios are located. I am satisfied, through public response, that WCKT is as much an audible force as it is a visible presence in South Florida. The station's many awards and signal honors are testimony to its many and varied achievements. Such overwhelming recognition is gratifying, of course, but WCKT's greatest satisfaction continues to come from the vast local audiences for whom our programs are created and our efforts directed. This is the truest measure of the value of what we do, and it is our greatest pleasure and reward. As we begin our 11th year, WCKT has found its place in the sun.
Victor Hugo once said, "Would you realize what revolution is, call it progress. And would you realize what progress is, call it tomorrow." Television is the symbol of the progressive revolution of communication. This is Wayne Ferris. Good night.
You have been watching Our 10 Years, a history of WCKT's decade of service. Next Saturday at 6:30, Outlook will return with another report of interest to the South Florida community. This program was pre-recorded. WCKT invites your comments.